Hey, we are going to be doing the tutorial from the July 2018 Silhouette Life Inspiration Box for the acrylic keychain. So the name on the PDF tutorial is Acrylic Keychains with Glitter Sparkleberry HTV. So the items from the box that you'll need are the Sparkleberry Glitter HTV with the high-tech magic mask, and then you'll need both of your blanks and the keychain findings for those. So once you have all your materials, let's get it set up in our design studio.
So I have the tutorial pulled up here and my design studio pulled up here. And what we're going to do first is we're going to scroll down in the tutorial to the links with the files. So what I'm going to do is, she talks about it in the tutorial, but there's two projects, this box, that are using this HTV. And so to make sure that we're consolidating and cutting and getting them both to fit, I'm going to do both of them at the same time. And lucky for us, she has it linked in the tutorial to have this full design set up. So that's what we're going to do. And I clicked on it, downloaded it, and then we'll drag it over. We should be able to just drag over. Okay, so these are all the ones we're doing with the glitter HTV. As you can see, we scroll back up and she has them all laid out on her file. So what we're going to do is set our settings the same as her. So 8 and 6 is what your page needs to be at. So we have a width of 8 and 6 as a height. And then I'm going to get rid of this because everything else matches. Cameo 12 by 12 custom. We got the rotation show cut border, so we're good there. Oh, so I'm going to undo that and make sure you loop everything together. So because I'm not going to be moving it, I'm going to go to, where am I going to go? Object. And I'm going to go to group. And that will make it all one file, so then when I move it, I don't have to worry about losing a piece or a circle or anything like that. Okay, so I have it right here. I'm putting it as low as I can so I can do a test cut right here without getting into Summer Beach or any of these other ones. So she talks about how we're doing the mason jar, two-sided with white HTV on the back to make the mason jar details, and then the glitter HTV on the front. So this is just the glitter HTV, and what we're going to do is scroll down. She talks about make sure you do not mirror or flip your design on pattern HTV. So this is what that is. So don't mirror or flip it. It doesn't have a built-in carrier sheet, so you're going to be using it like adhesive vinyl and then use the magic mask to transfer it over. So now when it's time to cut, which this is full, so it's ready to cut, we're going to go over to the send panel and we're going to use heat transfer glitter as our material. So we're scrolling down to heat transfer glitter. And then we're going to change the settings a little bit. So up your blade to 4, so you should have 4. Speed should be 8, so we're going to up that a little bit because ours are not doing the same one she is. So we're going to do speed 8, force 1. Let's see. Speed 8, force 4, passes 1. So I'm going to copy what she has right here. But I am going to do a test cut like she said. So that's why I left room right here to do that. I'm going to see if I can actually move this down anymore. Okay, so then this is ready to cut. So we could click send once it's loaded in. I will show you that on a different section of the video. But I want to make sure that we don't have any other cutting ones in this tutorial. So we are good. Let's see. Press the white if you choose, then follow up with the glitter. Okay, the template is set up to fit one side but not the other, so check your lines before pressing. Okay, I'm just reading through the different sections so I can show you how to do the white if you want on the back. But what I think we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this out, weed it. I'll show you all those pieces. And then if we want to do any other section, we will go ahead and do that. But let's look at it really quick to see if this has the... Sorry, I like to claim that I have pregnancy brain, so I'm kind of all over the place. Okay, so this is the full. So if we look over at this, we have that is the same here, but this one is different. So this is what we want that we didn't get in the other one. So let's check this. It looks like we're going to be doing, I'm checking right here to see if it's white HTV or just white adhesive vinyl. Let's see. she said, with white HTV on the back to make the mason jar details, the black outline right here, and what it looks like in her picture. So this is white HTV. So let's see, when we go to send, which one is it cutting? So it's cutting both. So we don't need this back one. We just need this front one. Because do you see, well, nope, let's do both of them. I'm trying to tell in her picture. She doesn't have a section in the tutorial for this. So what I'm going to suggest is cutting both if you have enough white HTV. If you don't have enough, just do this one. Because then this is what's white. I think this is just the outline of our keychain. So let's go with this. And then we're going to go to send, and it would be heat transfer. But we're going to do smooth because it's not glitter for this one. Heat transfer smooth, keep your settings the same. But we are going to mirror it. So we're going to go back. It'll ask you at the end with it set as heat transfer if you want to mirror. But you're just going to flip horizontally, and that way it'll just be mirrored the way you want it, so that your little this part shows up over here like that. So then we're going to send this. So now we have both of our designs ready. This is again with white HTV. So we're going to go get that set up and we'll cut it out.
Okay, we're ready to cut out the glitter. So I have this white section here because I'm going to do my test cut in it. So make sure you click Load Cut Matte. And then the settings you want on this glitter HTV is 4, 8, and 4. So make sure your blade is at a 4. It is. And click Test. That'll send a test cut for us. Let's see if that test cut worked. So then, up here at the top, I can just barely make out where this cut. So I'm going to get my, my weed pick and see if I can tell. But I may just have to pull up the corner, which is okay, especially since this is just the white section. So I'm looking at it where the test cut should have been, and it did not cut through at all. So we're going to need to bump the blade up. So we did 5, and then I'm also going to bump up the force to 10. And since it did not cut at all, I'm just going to do another test cut right there. Because I couldn't see, it didn't make its way through. So I'm going to do Load Cut Matte. And then I'm going to do Test. And I had bumped mine up to 5 and 10. So unload. We're going to see this time if we can tell. And so this time now I can see it. But again, it did not cut through at all. So this is why you do a test cut, so you don't send your whole design and then it's not right. So I'm going to bump it up to a 6. My blade is kind of full, so I'm going to do a 6, and I'm going to jump this back. I think it was originally, let's see. Let's go back to different heat transfer, and let's jump back to glitter. The force was originally 33. I think that's the issue. So let's test it. Let's go back to a blade of 5. I'm going to move my test down a little. So it's at a different section, and now I'm going to test. Because with the force at 33, that may be what it was. Maybe we just have the other numbers off. So then I'm going to check where this should have cut. And I'm going to try to weed out the box. And it worked perfectly. So that's what it was. It was the force. So make sure your force is at the accurate number. So I'm going to switch this back to the right way to get my design cut out in it. In the pattern section. We're going to click Load Cut Matte. Leave everything else the same, and then we're going to click Send. It's going to send our design, and then we will go ahead and weed it, and I will show you that section. So we're ready to cut out our white HTV now. So make sure the shiny side is down. If you want to do it on a mat, that's fine. I chose not to, so I just changed my settings in the Design Studio to no cutting mat, and then it just edited where the cut lines would be. So I'm just going to line it up with those blue lines on your Cameo and click Load Media. And made sure that went in evenly. And for this, we're doing heat transfer smooth with your blade at a 3. And so once you have all of those settings in, I'm going to do a test cut. So you would just click test on your silhouette. I'm going to show you to make sure. So we're going to unload it. And then we're going to see if we can weed out where that test cut was. So I'm trying to pick it up right now. And let's see, so it weeded out the whole box, and the triangle inside is cut, but it's a little bit hard to get out. So I'm just going to change the force just a little bit, and then it should be good to go. So I'm going to load that back in, and load medium, and then we're going to send this and cut it all out, and then we'll weed all of the designs for the white HTV. Okay, so now you're ready to weed it. So it's been cut out. It's really hard to see. So I like to look at the back. If you can see, you can kind of see where the indent is of what was cut. So you're going to want to take a look at your designs because we did a bunch for them. So I'm going to cut out all of the M with all of the dots at one time. So it's sitting right there. And I'm going to cut each section. So there's nothing next to my M. So I'm going to cut it. And then I'll be able to show you weeding it a little bit better than that. So let me show you. It shouldn't be too hard, but let's test it. So I cut pretty close. So I'm going to pick up right the very edge of this design. And it should just weed really nicely, as you can see. So go ahead and weed all of these, and then we will work on the projects that use this glitter. So now that it's all cut out, I just unloaded, and now we're ready to weed. So you can see the cut lines when you're looking at it close. So I'm going to cut each section, and then you're just going to want to weed carefully like we did the test cut, so that you don't rip anything, and so that you make sure it all cuts out exactly how you want it. So weed that, and then we'll go from there with the projects that use this vinyl. So now we have it all weeded for the keychains, and we need to apply the magic mask. So we've got the pieces cut out, and then we just need to take off the backing. Just always harder than I think it's going to be. And then apply it to our design. And these you really have to burnish very good, otherwise it's very hard to peel off. So we're going to apply it, and then I like to flip it over and slowly, and while I'm pressing down, peel up. And especially with this monogram one, you want to go slow because there's so many circles. And if you go too fast and they're not sticking, you could ruin it or rip something. So burnish really good and then press. So go ahead and do this for both of your designs, and then I'll show you them on the keychain. Alright, so now they're attached to the magic mask. The other thing you can't forget to do is remove the clear protectant cover on the keychains. So I just like to use tweezers to find it, and then just be careful with the keychain now that you have it. So, alright, so we peeled all of those off, and now we're going to line up our designs. So for the circle, we are going to try to line up the circle. It looks like she took out one of these circles for the keychain holder, or for the key hook. So I'm going to do the same thing as line it up right where that would be. Oh. And then I'm just going to remove it. So you can see right there, but I'm going to peel it back and I'm going to remove that one circle like she did. So then there is my M, and that's what you're going to press. So then for the mason jar, this only fits on one side. It's only lined up to fit on one side. So we need to check and see which side it's lined up to fit on. So I'm checking that right now. And I'm trying to line up the hole, and it's not working there, so maybe it goes on this side. And we're just messing with it till we get it lined up. Okay. So it's close there, so I think it's this side. Let's see. Let's try again. Nope, that's not where I want it. So you're going to play with this if you want to do the white till you find where it should be. Okay, so there we go. I think I got it. So you're going to press the white first, but then the glitter's going to be on the other side. So you can kind of line up how you want it on the other side. And I'm just looking at how she has it, and it does look like they overlap, which is okay. So that's what I'm going to do. Line it up. Okay, so that's what my mason jar is going to look like. And then my monogram one is going to look like this. So the settings for them, let's see, 320 for 15, and it worked okay for the glitter. And then the white was the 320 for 12, I think is what she did. Same temperature for both is what she ended up doing. So I'm going to press them. It's warm to cold peel, and then I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay, so I just pressed them. Here's the mason jar and then the monogram. I did 320 degrees, 12 seconds. And I think it may have been too hot. I'm not sure. If you can see on the glitter, it kind of melted around it almost, or left a residue. I don't know if that's from the magic mask or what that's from, but that's what happened on mine. So now that you have it, you would just loop the keychain. You could just open this, what am I trying to say? This piece at the end with pliers, and then sneak it through there, and then you have your keychain all set. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.